There it is. Dungeons and Dragons live action series. I should be live on YouTube now. Everything is coming together. Let me know if the music is too loud. I think it might be. Oh. Wow, very different vibe if I take the headset off and it's just silence in here. TCG Turtle, hello again. How's it going? Wait, Turtle, you've been in here before, right? It's giving me a first words tag, as if you'd never spoken here before. It's YouTube gaslighting me, I think. How's it going? It's Friday, but happy Valentine's Day, Jesus Christ. Excuse me, I need to message someone. Oh, I told her. She knows. We got plans tonight. What's going on, CB Flam? Dave, happy Valentine's Days. Oh, I guess it tells me first words just if you speak for the first time in this stream. So I'm getting like a flag saying this is the first time you're speaking. I'm like, you guys have spoken before. How are y'all? Surviving? Big weekend. A long weekend here in Canada. Not that I'll be partaking too much, but most people get 3 days off, so. How long will my stream be? Not long. It depends how many people come in. Let's face it, being honest. If it's lively and there's chatting, I'll stay for a little bit longer. But I'll probably be. But if it's quiet, come up to 2 o'clock now. Usually my streams tend to go for 2 hours, give or take. Nothing beats the power move of eating your D20 after it fails you. No, because then you become the failure. You want to eat the ones that give you the nat 20s. That's how you get more powerful as a human being. Rose, hi. Nothing beats eating dice in general. Oh, once I do my dice eating stream, which I'm doing, I'm going to buy some edible dice. You'll enjoy that. The stream yesterday was awesome. Thank you. Rose, I'm good. Not too bad. Not too shabby. As I was saying, it's Friday. It's Valentine's Day. And it's also a long weekend here in Canada. I think it's Family Day? What is it? Hold on. What holiday am I celebrating this weekend? What's Monday? 17th? Oh, Feb. I don't know. It's something. I think it's Family Day. I think it's Family Day here in Canada, where we celebrate family. Doodle Dave. I recognized you instantly. No, you could have pulled the wool over my eyes. That was a disguised self for sure. If you eat 5 nat 20s, you're unbeatable. I don't think that's true. What's the hardest dice to swallow, do you think? I don't think it's a D20. I think you want more corners, I guess. Or do you? I think a D6. I think a D6 is the hardest dice to swallow. See, I was thinking D4, Dave. I was thinking D4, but it's like aerodynamic. So if you just put the pointy end down first, it should just fly on down there. Lots of D4s. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll admit defeat then. I'll admit D4. How different do you think the D&D show will be from the D&D movie? So this is the whole point. I really want to talk about this. I'm excited. I don't know if you guys are aware. I feel like I've spoken about it a lot, so I'm sorry if you are. You probably are. But I've worked on a fair few TV shows in the past. Not in any big creative role, but I have credits on some TV shows and movies in the VFX department as a VFX editor, and I have credits in the Lord of the Rings TV show, and I didn't even know I'm in there. I worked on the show, but they don't tell me in these production houses if I'm going to be on the credits or not. I just have to kind of watch stuff that I worked on, and then watch the credits and see if I'm there, which is awful, but it's fun when I'm in there. So I always watch the credits till the end when I go watch movies that I worked on. And the way my work was, it was like it's not like I would work on a TV show for months. It was more like TV shows would outsource work to my company, I think is the best way to describe it. So then I would maybe help out on a show for a week or two. Sometimes I might even have credits on TV shows that I worked on for a day. It's pretty silly. But this, D&D TV show is definitely one that I would be scrambling to get my hands on. I'd be like, can I work on that? I would love to get my credits on that. What shows? So I've worked on a plethora of shows, but what shows I actually have my credits in is a different story. Lord of the Rings was the latest show that I had credits on, and then before that I had I don't even know. I'd have to recheck my IMDb. My biggest credits to date, though, are really unexpected. I'm in the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie credits, and I'm in John Wick 4, which I've not watched. I've seen scenes, mostly scenes before the VFX went in there, but I've not watched it. But I don't want to talk. I feel that it's weird talking about this. I signed NDAs and stuff, so I can kind of talk loosely about it, but I don't even know where the line is. Rose, please don't sell your services here in my stream. But Anika, great name. How different do you think D&D show will be from D&D movie? I think it'll be darker and grittier, because that's just the way TV shows go, especially fantasy TV shows. Did any of you guys watch Willow, the TV show that came out a few years ago? That was a TV show that was fantasy and went the light-hearted route, and it got destroyed. So I think it's going to go darker. It's probably going to be Lord of the Rings. Rings of Power level, I think. So we'll see. I hope it stays very high fantasy. I hope it doesn't go Game of Thrones, House of the Dragon kind of vibes, which I like, but I don't think I want high fantasy. I want it to be actual, everybody's magic and everyone's having fun. Just start every sentence with hypothetically, then talk about it. Anything you have an NDA on, they come for you and just... yeah, hypothetically. Oh, and Shade, to answer your question about what did I do for them, my job. Hypothetically. No, I can say this. I worked in VFX, in a VFX production house, and I was in editorial. So I was like an editor, fundamentally. doing bits and bobs, anything that was needed to make the workflow as easy as possible for the artists to get their work done. So it's a fun job, but it's a lot. It's like a lot of crunch, a lot of it was kind of like a lot of the people in the industry, and they like it, and more power to people who like it, but I wasn't a massive fan of the fly by your seat kind of like every day you don't know what you're going to be getting, and it's just going to be like, we just got to get stuff done, we've got to get out the door no matter what. I never really liked that. I prefer making YouTube stuff, but yeah, I prefer more structure a lot of the time. If someone tells you nerd knowledge about movies, shows, you show them the credits. Well, yeah, I always bow down to other people. I've always found like, I've got a bad memory, so whenever it comes to nerd stuff, like I'll be bad on actually. I bow down to like the loudest person in the room. I'm the type of person who would like, if I heard something that was like, I was unsure was true, but it was coming very confidently, the person saying it, I would fight it a little bit. I'd be like, are you sure? And if they were like, yeah, I'm sure, then I would be like, okay. And then later that day, or the next day, I'd Google it. And then if I'm right, I'll come back again and restart the argument. It's very passive-aggressive of me. Anyway, have you guys all seen this news? Here, let me get it up for you. Where's my boy? I believe anything if Brennan Lee Mulligan said it. Yeah, I don't understand. Like, Brennan Lee Mulligan there's a level of, like, brains and confidence there. That's crazy. I just don't think he'd have a reason to lie either. He just knows everything. Very smart man. Very smart man. Scary. Only if it's bird facts. No, I think Brennan I think he plays his intelligence down a lot to be more relatable. In a nice way possible. I think he's incredibly smart. I think he's like next level IQ. Yeah. Yeah, I can imagine like you go to like a pub quiz with him and he's getting every answer right. I hope the show gets a full Fallout treatment and it does the game justice. Yes. What do we think? What's the best adaptation TV show today? I've got two that come to mind. I think Fallout was a fantastic adaptation. I loved Fallout. And then I also think it's an adaptation of an anime, but One Piece. I think One Piece was really well done. Whether you like it or not, it was like, it felt truly like they managed to bring an anime to life on screen. It was very impressive. If he says something incorrect, the reality just bends around his statement, making it true. Cowboy Bebop was a good one. I mean, it got cancelled, right? I didn't watch it, but I've heard it didn't get the views. Was the Witcher series good? The Witcher was hit and miss. I think Henry Cavill's fantastic in it. I think a lot of the actors are fantastic in it. I think the writing could have done with a lot of work. The Witcher was another one I worked on as well. So I'm often like, yeah, I shouldn't say anything bad. But yeah. But I forgot about The Witcher. As far as fantasy TV shows go, adaptions especially, yeah, The Witcher's a big one. I mean, it's successful. It's still going, even though it's got a different actor playing The Witcher, which is wild. I know he quit and fought the show. Yeah, there's a lot of rumors out there of the writers, like him knowing more about the game than the writers. I don't know how much any of that stuff is like true. But something definitely happened. A lead actor doesn't just, especially the lead actor who made the show happen in the first place, which is what Henry Cavill did for The Witcher. The main actor doesn't just like walk away after 3 seasons and then they replace him with someone else and the show keeps going. That's wild. So weird. Christian, what's going on? How are you? The problem is, when TV people try to make a show about a game, they need gamers to show them how to make a TV show. Yeah. Halo was similar. We've had a lot more shows that, whether good or bad, didn't live up to like whatever they were adapting. Luckily, D&D there's like, what are you adapting there? There's so much variety that you can pull from. So should be interesting. But yeah, this is the article that's kind of like let it all out. D&D live action series, The Forgotten Realms, in works on Netflix from Sean Levy, Drew Crivello, and Hasbro. And Sean Levy was a producer on Stranger Things and Deadpool and Wolverine, 2 very different like pieces of content. And the writer showrunner is Drew Crivello from We Crashed. I've not seen We Crashed or even heard. Is We Crashed like good? What is it? Okay. I guess 7.3. This has got Jared Leto in and Anne Hathaway. It's a TV series? How have I not heard of this? Oh, that's how. Apple TV. Apple TV just pumps out stuff with massive names, but doesn't market it outside of Apple TV unless it's Severance. It's wild. 7.3 out of 10. Could go either way. God of War is due to get a show. Yeah, that should be really interesting. And did you like the Mario movie? Yeah. I mean, it was good for a kids movie. I don't really have a horse in that race too much though. Like, I've enjoyed Mario games, and I don't know. Fantasy TV shows, fantasy and sci-fi TV shows, are my jam. I think that's like my favorite kind of content, specifically TV shows. And second to that is like video games and TTRPGs. So when you merge those 2 things, I'm like, ooh, okay, I'm interested. Sean Levy's not really done good movies. I wish this would be written by Jonathan Goldstein and Man from Bones, like the movie was. Right, yeah. Get the same people who did Honor Among Thieves. It's such a pity that Honor Among Thieves didn't do well in the box office, because it's a great movie. It's so much fun. All that means is that 7 people out of the 10 that watched it liked it. I mean, that's a really interesting way of looking at it, Silence. That's a really interesting way of looking at it. Normally, the way I handle IMDb scores is I'll only watch a TV show or movie if it's an 8 out of 10. Or 7.5 is my lowest I'll go if it's been recommended to me by someone else. Unless it is sci-fi or fantasy or supernatural, something like that. In which case, I'll drop to like a 6.5. I'll give it a go because I'm a lot more forgiving of those kinds of shows. Eureka was amazing. A Town Called Eureka? Great stuff. That's old though. Town Called Eureka's old now. But yeah, it was a great show. There's it's completely different, but it's a similar vibe to that. I don't know if you guys have watched this new Paradise show. It's just called Paradise. It's on Disney Plus. It's worth checking out. But yeah, the D&D movie was great, but it didn't do well. So those are the 2 truths no matter. So whether they would make a TV show similar, and we've had a lot of D&D stuff recently that I think it would pull from more. For example, Baldur's Gate 3, I think is going to be a massive influence. And also the Level Up, is that what it's called? Level Up? The animated video game TV show. The D&D episode of that, I think a lot of people seem to like. So it might be kind of set around that kind of vibe. But we'll see. When do you think they'll drop BG4 and microtransactions? Microtransactions, yeah, out of it. I don't think we'll see BG4 for a couple more years. Like 2028, maybe. But we'll see how desperate they are. Because they want that money, don't they? They want that money. And I don't mind. I don't mind them getting that money if they make good stuff, you know. If they make good stuff, they can get as rich as they want. They can live their capitalist dream as much as they want if I get good stuff. Maybe they'll base it on a community D&D episode that wasn't deleted from Netflix. Yes. The 50% of the D&D community episodes have been erased from history. Which is a pity, because phenomenal episode. But you know what? On the other side, don't do blackface. I know he didn't do blackface, but don't do anything that could be, you know, misrepresented as it. Because 30 Rock had a similar thing, where I think they full on did blackface. Like full on did it. And like I get the argument of like, well, it's not like I think he was a drow, right? So he got drow makeup on. They got cancelled because of it. But also you got to remember Dan Harmon was a very cheeky person. And I'd be like, you did this to see what you could get away with. And it was in your mind. It wasn't, you weren't oblivious to this and you like were pushing limits. Have I watched The Guild with Felicia Day? Years ago, when it first came out. The web series? Years ago. But I did meet Felicia Day a couple of months ago. I paid too. It was at the... you guys heard of the 20-Sided Tavern? If not, you guys should check it out. It's an off-Broadway like show. So there's a stage there. They have big names, like Abria, I guess, is doing the next one between February 24th and March 11th. And like it is literally just... Oh.
The stage is set for a unique adventure every night at the 20-Sided Tavern. Whether you're toasting with shots of celebration or rolling for initiative...
Wait, they had Damien... Was that Damien Haas?
The stage is set for a unique adventure every night at the 20-Sided Tavern. Whether you're toasting with shots of celebration or rolling for initiative against dangerous foes, every decision is yours to make.
I'm imagining things.
Join the action on stage or choose your hero's pathways from your seat. The spell has been cast, and the only missing ingredient
but yeah, this is... I recommend going to this. So Felicia Day was here at 20-Sided Tavern when we went in New York. And she was on stage doing it all. But beforehand, we like went in and we had tickets at the back, and they were just like, there's tickets at the front that they didn't fill. Do you want to sit there? And we went and sat at the front. And then Felicia Day just came off stage and was like, hey, how's it going? And saying hi to like everyone in the front rows, which was just so cool. So I had a little chat. She's fantastic. My wife is jelly you met Felicia Day. Yeah. I mean, it was very brief. It's not like she would remember me. But yeah, no, it's very, very cool. Me and my wife were just like, oh my God, yeah. Blah, blah. You never heard of it? Yeah, it's in New York City. It is a stage show where there's like performers and actors on stage and improvisers. And there's a DM, and then there's 3 other actors who are the players. And fundamentally, everyone in the audience has an app, and they can vote for things to happen on stage. So it's like scripted to a degree because they know what kind of stuff they're going to do, but there's variables inside it that we're choosing. And it can be anything from like who opens the door, you know, and everyone chose Felicia Day because like the other 2 were just kind of very good actors, but you know, this is all they had done. Dude, what VTT do you use? None. Nil point. I mostly just, I do it in person, so I don't really use a VTT. Except from pointing out, what other D&D tubers do you enjoy? Any less well-known channels? I have a man crush on both Deficient Master and Power Word Spill. I think they're both great. We started at around the same time, and they're just doing fantastic stuff. Battle maps, Shade. I'm all about the battle maps. I'll even pull out a little smoke machine sometimes and add some smoke, which lasts 7 seconds before the smoke dissipates, and then it's just sticky. The Deficient Master is so funny. Yeah, the Deficient Master's great. You think they should do a live action of the 80s cartoon, make it fun, draw new people in? Yeah. What, like make it like a kid's show, you mean, Bev? I don't know. I think there's a lot of rumors about them doing something with Drizzt. Drizzt Do'Urden, the titular character of the novels, who is a drow from, what's the drow city called? Menzoberranzan. And he like escapes and ends up at the surface. I've only read one of the books, and only recently. I've read Homeland. It's a good book, to be honest. It's part 1 of a trilogy, so I need to read the others. I just read at a glacial pace, so I'll let you know how the full trilogy is in 22 years. But there's a lot of talk of that because that's the most like built out part of that kind of world. There's so many books in that series that talk about the Forgotten Realms, and I feel like a lot of it's fundamentally canon. So they could do something with Drizzt. But once again, it is hard to handle drow. It just is hard to handle drow. I guess it's not. You just make them purple or grey, right? But we'll see what happens. There was a show. Oh my god! Now I'm going to really test how nerdy you guys are. Like a decade ago, there was a show, that was a sci-fi show that was released simultaneously with an MMO video game. Oh my god! It begins with D, I think. And they had aliens in that who looked like what I thought drow would look like, and they had like grey skin. Yoda. Yoda got it. You massive nerd, Yoda. Who'd have thought? Who'd have thunk it? Who'd have thunk someone called Yoda Leia He-Who would get that one? I played that game and I watched that show. Yeah. Crazy. Any chance you would do a live for DMing discussions? Yeah. What kind of stuff would you want, Shade? I'm thinking next week I might just do one where I chill and I prep my next session, but yeah. I've read all of his books. Some are good, some are bad. When you say some are bad, like some are really bad, like don't read them at all, stay away, or just like they're not as good as the other ones. I'm from Brazil. Really like your channel. Happy to see you live. Thank you. I thought that said happy to see you alive at first, and I was like, why? What have you been hearing? What have you been hearing? Someone trying to kill me? I don't know. I really like Stranger Things. Wait. Have Netflix done any sci-fi stuff recently? Not sci-fi, sorry, fantasy. Have they done any fantasy stuff recently? Oh, they do stuff like Shadow and Bone. They do like young adult stuff, right? Which I actually think this would be a good direction for this to go down. You know, it might not be loved by most people, but the fantasy market in TV shows, the biggest fan base is in that young adult zone. Like you want like a hot daddy, barbarian dude in there. And like some emotionally unavailable woman ranger, and you just enemies to lovers, from frenemies to lovers. That's what you want. I have set an encounter right now. Ask me in 22 years if I've finished all the Drizzt Do'Urden books. I hope so, because I liked them. I really liked it. I've never played in the Realm favorite rune for D&D, always homebrewed worlds. So when I played BG3, I was shook with the racism I faced as a drow. Yeah, it doesn't shy away from that. I also played a drow. I'm definitely a big nerd. I find the drow really interesting. Just because it's a matriarchal society, right? The women are in charge, and I hope to see some stuff like exploration, because that's cool. They're not just in charge, but they're flat out like evil, which there might be some issues with, but I think it's great. Not saying that when women get in charge, society goes evil. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying it's a competent society. It's being run well. Co-working game prep is so fun. Yeah. Oh man. If it was up to me, I would just get you guys to do all my prep for me. You guys are way smarter than me. Arcane. Yes, Netflix did do Arcane. What's Steam Fantasy? Oh, is that like a steampunk? Is that the vibe of it? Do you mean? Yeah, imagine if they went like down the Arcane storytelling route of these really deep character-driven stories. That would be crazy. But I don't want that. I like Arcane for that. I think for a D&D TV show, I would want a world-hopping giant adventure. You know? I'd want like, they don't stay in the same town for more than an episode. They're always moving. They've got a goal. They've got to get the ring to Mordor. And I hope it's kind of cheesy. I just don't know if other people would like it, but I hope it's like, you know, the fantasy TV shows before fantasy TV shows were cool. So like Legend of the Seeker style, like almost, I don't even care if it's low budget, but just like it's got that level of like, I don't know. There's almost an innocence to it. I like it a lot. The trick balancing encounters is just to let the monster die when you realize you threw something too strong at your players. That's true, Shade. That is true. You've always got that it dies button that you can press, or it runs away button. You know, it's amazing how so many people who are like against like changing numbers, and I'm not saying if it's right or wrong, but there's some people who are against changing numbers and just allowing a creature to die, but they're absolutely okay with the creature just like running away. It's like the same thing. It's the same thing. I'd really like to see a plan. You'd really like to see me plan a session live. I started using Obsidian for D&D after your video and Power Word Spills. I've heard such good things about Obsidian, and I really want to like deep dive into it. So yeah, maybe I'll do a stream where I'm just exploring Obsidian. Some of the books should be skipped. They had nothing. Read the Jarlaxle books. There are so many books that's useless. You have the time. Just read the recommended books. Oh yeah, I'll get a list online. Well, hopefully, maybe I'll just watch the TV show. Imagine if they just full on adapt the books into a TV show. Because history, like those are the most successful fantasy TV shows, is where they are just adapting a book. Which one do you prefer, Dark Elf trilogy or the Crystal Shard trilogy? Oh, that's for you guys, I think. I'm not aware of the Crystal Shard trilogy. It's more so they steamroll my encounters when they're deadly on D&D Beyond for their level. Are they 2024 players characters, by any chance? He released a new book detailing non-Loth drows. There's a secret enclave that live in the North Pole. That's cool. Oh, that is cool. I'm back. What did you miss? Not much, Dave. Just chatting about fantasy TV shows. It runs away as a trick you love. Arriving, just killed and ate a player. Well, now it's had a meal. No reason to stick around and fight the rest of them. Yeah. It does make more sense than your next hit kills it. Like, it keeps the fear up as well. Drizzt is a himbo. Yeah. The real question is, who would play Drizzt? Because I know there's been a lot of Joe Manganiello talk over the years. But I think it's someone who has to be leaner. You know? I imagine Drizzt, in my mind, Drizzt is like... he's like athletic, but he's not like absolutely like henched, you know? So, and also they're still they've got to have an elven kind of look. So it's hard. That's a hard one. And yeah, that would make it or break it. You'd also, what's his panther called? Because you'd have to like CG that, which is hard. That's expensive. That's a hard thing to do. So I don't know if they'd go that route on season 1, but we'll see. I also hope they don't do the Homeland book either, because I presume the whole trilogy at the start of those Drizzt books are all set in the Underdark. And I can't handle like more than a few episodes in the Underdark. I want to get out. I want to get up. I want to see the world outside. The guy who plays the Paladin in D&D movie was going to play Drizzt, but they had to change it last second, because how do you handle drow skin tone, the Forbidden Community episode? Yeah. Yeah, it's dangerous. It's a dangerous zone. Like I said before, you just make them purple, or you make them grey. Just for the love of God, don't go, don't go blackface. Google Obsidian TTRPG tutorials if you're curious. Oh, yeah, I'll check that out. Tons of resources. Thank you, Bruno. That's a bot. I know there's a way that I can ban this bot from... Hold on. From my chat here, I almost pinned the message. I've done it before. How did I do it? I can choose to ignore the user, but I don't. I want to get rid of the said user. This is one of those things that keeps happening to me, and I want to ban, and I keep saying, I'm going to look at this afterwards and figure out how to do it, and I never look at it afterwards. Well, it's just on Twitch. In fact, let me see if I can do it from here. Where's mod view? I don't understand why they make this so difficult. I don't understand why I can't just easily on Twitch just click on a thing and delete it. You can do ban username. Let's try that. Thank you. Ban apparent caboose for telling me best viewers go to this website. See if that works. Oh, Bruno, legend. It worked. Watch me forget about that as soon as. Thank you for the follow, Cheese King. How's it going? Alright, what did I miss while I was doing that? Gwen Withar. The name of the Black Panther. What a name. Homeland trilogy is Menzo, then they go to Icewind Dale for 2-ish books, right? Yeah, well, hopefully they don't spend too long in Menzo, is all I'm saying. I want to see it, but I don't want to spend 10 episodes there. But we'll see. We'll see. I'm legit excited about this. I was excited when they first announced it. Back when the movie was announced. When the movie was announced, they were like, also, maybe something else happening. And then when the movie came out, they were like, there's a TV show coming out. And then like last year, they were like, okay, the TV show's not happening anymore. And I was like, what? That sucks. But now it is. And I'm happy again. As the title suggests, the proposed series will take place in the iconic campaign setting and centerpiece of the Dungeons & Dragons universe, a fantasy world released in 1987 that has become home to some of the brand's most famous characters and launchpad for D&D's most popular adventures. Yeah. It's interesting that at this point now, D&D is just the Forgotten Realms. Like, they're ignoring a lot of the other stuff. Not even just the Forgotten Realms, it's just the Sword Coast. It's just a tiny slither of the Forgotten Realms. I was telling you when I made the D&D show, a BG3 show. What would you be angry about? Like, what's the worst case scenario there? You mean like the characters? Because I don't think I'll use the same characters. But it'd be the world, I think, is what people are thinking they'd go for. And I think BG3 had a good fantasy world. I wouldn't be mad at it at all. But I do think that it is interesting. If the BG3 world feels very different to the D&D movie world. Kind of random, what is my favorite D&D monster? Ooh. I mean, without thinking too hard off the top of my head, like a mimic comes up a lot. I think mimics are fun. Man, I don't want to say something lame. But I've gone blank. A gibbering mouther is my favorite monster. I really like the False Hydra. What's the False Hydra? I don't remember talking about the False Hydra. I guess I'm cynical, but lately shows based on universes I enjoy have ruined things, such as Rings of Power and Wheel of Time. So I'm trepidatious about the Forgotten Realms show. We have to like address the elephant in the room, and that is the fact that there is a very good chance this TV show won't be good. You know, there's just a very good chance. There's an even higher chance that it's just gonna be average. It might not be bad, but it might not be good. So we do have to prepare ourselves for that potential. But still, I wanna stay optimistic about it. Can't control my excitement. You looked it up yesterday, last stream, man. I know, I was doing a false Hydra joke. Because the false Hydra makes people forget, guys. Guys! Doppelganger is probably my top monster. Okay, cool. Also, The Witcher, they really butchered it. At least for you, yeah. Did I forget about Drain without Colin Johnson? Guys! Jason, what's going on? What is this? D&D TV show coming out. I think I saw somewhere that, like, maybe it would come out in 2006. Holy, yeah, we went back in time 20 years. 2026. But it won't. It'll come out in, like, 2027 or 2028, I think. Though it depends. They've got a showrunner. They've got Netflix behind them. But I don't think it's going to be plain sailing. Does it say? Does it say in this article if they were planning it for a year? The project's initial incarnation, overseen creatively by Red Notice filmmaker Rawson Marshall Thurber, with Crivello subsequently joining him as showrunner, landed at Paramount Plus in 2023, with a straight-to-series order and E1 co-producing alongside Paramount Pictures. Man, that fell apart though. The project ultimately did not move forward amid a strategy shift at Paramount Plus and ownership change at E1, which was acquired by Lionsgate. Yeah. These shows always struggle to, like, get out. How's it going, Sam? You feel like that show will have lots of post-production work, gotta have a sizable budget. Yeah. Yeah. And no. It depends what they do, right? Because you can tell any story in the Forgotten Realms, and it could be, season 1 could be a super down-to-earth thing. Like, very, I don't say low budget in a bad way, but they don't have to, like, have dragons and creatures everywhere and magic fireballs flying through every scene. They can have some of that, and that's not as expensive as you think nowadays. We'll see. I hope they don't go too over the top with stuff, to be honest. Start off small. You really love Rust monsters. Fair enough. Cautiously optimistic about the show. Yeah, I'm excited, but I'm aware. I'm excited, but I'm aware. What do I think about the Unearthed Arcana? I've not seen it. Which Unearthed Arcana? Is there a brand new one out? Yeah, I think I know what you mean about the struggle. You want the story to feel epic and like a good campaign, but not contrived, as so many fantasy shows can be. Fallout was really good without using a lot of the iconic creatures. Yeah, I think Fallout is a really good example of this done well, because it was based on a world, but all those characters were new. And it took a lot of creative liberties. And you can do the same thing with D&D. Just tell its own unique individual story. It doesn't have to be like a world-ending affair. And I think, yeah, just put the characters first. I think they'll do well. Isn't the Unearthed Arcana playtest? Yeah, Unearthed Arcana is the stuff they release for people to like peruse and try playing and then vote on whether they like it or not. Harrison Ford meets Strahd. Who would play Strahd? That's a great one. Who would play Strahd? Have you guys watched Interview with a Vampire? I think it would be so on the nose, but the main vampire in that would be a great Strahd. The Lion Court guy. Nicolas Cage. I was watching that movie. I didn't finish it. I've watched half of that movie. I want to go finish it. Crap, what's the movie called? It's the name of his familiar. That movie is silly, man. Oh, it's the Moonbard and Knowledge Cleric. No, I've not looked at the Unearthed Arcana. Yeah, totally. Start the show with lower stakes. Also give the showrunners something to build toward. Yeah, and let them get a feel for the actors and the world without going too hard, you know? Imagine it would be like Jumanji getting sucked into D&D. I'm sure some people would be happy with that, but if people from our world are pulled into the D&D world and that's the show, I would riot. I hate that. I hate that idea. Genuinely. This is not an anime isekai. This is a hardcore fantasy show for hardcore fantasy people. This world can't exist. I don't want anyone going in with knowledge of our world and making little references to it. Or I don't want anyone going in with a handgun. I've got time for that in other series and stuff, but for whatever reason I want my D&D to be separate. Not Louis, the other guy, the blonde vampire. What's happening, Johannes? What's happening, Hukila? Imagine it's live action Lost Mine of Phandelver. Imagine if the way they write the show is they play D&D every week and they just adapt that. I was about to say that like could be a crazy thing, but that's literally what Vox Machina is, I guess. It's wild that Vox Machina exists. It's wild. Yeah, it is just the 80s cartoon again. I don't like it. I don't want to see a Toyota Corolla in Faven. I don't. Yeah, those kinds of isekai type ideas are what worries me. I don't want them trying to do anything cute like that. Yeah. The only time that I've really enjoyed like an isekai style thing, and I prefer it in sci-fi stuff, but like Farscape. Farscape did it really well. Like an astronaut from Earth gets pulled through a wormhole and ends up in like a galaxy far, far away and has to deal with that stuff. I'm down for that. But for some odd reason with fantasy, I don't like it. Wait, a D&D series? A D&D series. Indeed. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out if they have like a timeline for this. Yeah. There's no set schedule of the show because there's constantly conflicts between the actors for time. Couldn't get them all in the room at the same time. Drid's series is missing from this world is mind-blowing to me. What do you mean, Nikos? That we've not seen it yet, like in live action, you mean? Having Drizzt in... I hate saying his name. It's a cool name, I just can't... Because I just feel like I'm always saying it wrong. Having the Drizzt like characters and world in this TV show would be cool, but I wonder what it means for like licensing and budgeting stuff to use, because they could use the books, but maybe they need to pay a lot of money for it. In live action or animated, yeah. It'd be cool. We'll see. Because one thing I don't want... This is a genuine thing now, actually. We're talking about Drizzt. For this TV series, it's apparently going to be called The Forgotten Realms, but that could still be a code name. Probably is, to be honest. Bad code name, because we all know what it is. But like just a way... They might have something else planned that they don't want to reveal yet. I don't want it to be one main character. That's my stipulation. So Drizzt is great and all, But I feel like if you're going to tell a Drizzt story, he's the one main character. I don't want that. I want a group, or I want multiple groups, like Game of Thrones style. Yeah, I wouldn't want it to be like the Witcher. I would want it to be like about a group, or preferably I'd want it to be about multiple moving parts. I'd want it to be a real moving world. D&D is about a group. Yeah, but the Drizzt books are not. Salvatore is 66 years old, younger than G.R.R. Martin. Huh? How can I join your Discord? Just through my YouTube page. If you go to my main homepage, it should be linked there. They'll let me know if it's not letting you in, because sometimes the invitations do expire. D&D Giant and CGI. Yeah, what would you want to see in live action of all the stuff is a good question. Like monsters. We've seen from the movies, we saw Displacer Beasts and we saw Mimics and we saw Aarakocra. Yeah, would Aarakocra be the same vibe? I loved Aarakocra in the D&D movie, but I hated Tabaxi. So hopefully they change that. I don't know if you remember the cat people in the D&D movie. They were like nightmare fuel. Beholder would be awesome. A Kraken. Still works, thank you. No worries. Imagine Netflix contacts me and other D&D YouTubers to create the story. Oh, man. Would never happen. Imagine if they contacted you. Imagine if they did like an Unearthed Arcana for the script and everyone could sign off on it. Rust monsters, yeah. Strahd. Oh, man. Yeah, we should do like a... Maybe next stream I will get a bunch of actors and we'll do like a tier list of like who they could play. Because like Drizzt and Strahd are huge in that world. And then you've got stuff like Mordenkainen and Tasha, who I don't think we'd ever see. But, like, who would play them, Damn, I just Googled what came up. Tabaxi D&D movie. Yeah, you know what? It like, doesn't look bad. It's just, in my mind... Open an image in new tab. In my mind, a Tabaxi is like this, like nimble, slim, great mover. And I'm looking at this Tabaxi and I'm just like, it's so obvious. It looks like taxidermy, It's just not, that's not going anywhere fast. Sean Connery will be a good Elminster's a good shout. Yeah. Any old Bond would be a good Elminster. You don't remember seeing it in the movie? I think they go to like some town and I think the Tabaxi's daughter, like baby, is like drowning or something and it's going, my baby. Is that the bit? I don't know how violent it will be. Yeah, that's a good question. How violent would you want it? I feel like I would want it violent. I feel like I want it to be light-hearted for the most part, but then just there be gore and blood. Like, not the boys level, but like more than you would think. I'm down for that. Like, you ever been watching like an anime or something and it's like all happy-go-lucky and something dark really happens and the tone shifts and it turns into like a mini horror thing and it hits so much harder because of the contradiction between the light and the dark. That's kind of what I'd want. is inside a fish. The Tabaxi baby is inside a fish, and the Tabaxi... the paladin saves the baby. Yeah. Violent but not taking yourself too seriously, I'd say. Yeah, I think, yeah. I'm on board with that. Featuring humans, elves, orcs, and other fantastical creatures engaging in wars, treasure hunts, and campaigns, the D&D game... Oh, I thought it was going to tell us about the show. One of Hasbro's key franchise brands hailing from Wizards of the Coast. It's overseen by a host known as the Dungeon Master. Man, this Deadline article really... They were like, we need 500 words, so pad it out. Because they're just describing D&D now. More than 50 million fans have played D&D since it was first launched 49 years ago. In that time, the D&D multimedia library has come to include novels, comics, video games, live stream entertainment on Twitch and YouTube. The Forgotten Realms has been expanded across all of those formats, providing ample storylines and IP on which to base the series. It's interesting they mentioned live stream entertainment as like the next level. It was like novels, comic books, video games, and live stream entertainment. Yeah, hopefully this Levy guy would do a good job. I mean, I'm a big fan of Stranger Things, so let's hope so. Oh, there's comments. I love looking at comments for stuff like this. I love it. Yeah, not excessively gory, but enough realism that it feels like there are stakes, yeah. It'd be cool to have a horror D&D series movie made. Strange. I forgot how much Stranger Things is inspired by D&D as well. So that is a plus. That's a bonus. Yeah, people are saying go see the author of the books. And this could work if it's done right. This instead of Dragonlance is a major disappointment. Okay, Anonymous. I just think no one's going to watch it. Way more people will watch a Forgotten Realms show than a Dragonlance show. That's just the reality of it. And there it is. There needs to be a live-action version of the old Dungeons & Dragons cartoon series from the 80s. Sean did a fine job with Deadpool and Wolverine. Nothing groundbreaking cinematically, but totally fine for a superhero adventure movie. Yeah, I agree with that. You love my streams. It's so great chatting with me and others. Oh, thanks, guys. Well, I do have this up as well, because I did want to watch this. So, earlier today, I went on Blue Sky. And I think it was Destructo Boy put this video out here called The Potato Situation. It's insane. But it is also, I believe it's a video about the thumbnail was I was paid to shill for Civ 7. It's about commenters and viewers accusing YouTubers of being shills for companies. And honest to God, I get called a shill so often. I haven't recently. I'm really impressed. I thought the Monster Manual review was going to get a ton of like, you're a shill. How much did they pay you to talk about this? Because, I talk optimistically about D&D and the things I love. So everyone's just like, this is just an ad. How much are they paying you? I'm like, D&D, Wizards of the Coast have not acknowledged I exist yet. I've had no acknowledgement. They've never sent me anything like that. WizKids have. That's nice of them, but D&D haven't. So I wanted to watch this because apparently it goes into some detail about like what's happening, and I'm genuinely interested. I've not watched this yet. please look at my other comment. The one that says, the only other comment, I am starting to get into D&D, but I don't know where to play, and I love your channel. Thanks, man. If you really want to play, startplaying.com is a great place to start. Oh, thanks, Sam.
You're a shill. You're a paid shill. This feels really shilly. Potato McShilsky. What people mean, what they really mean when they say this, is that they don't like what I'm saying. And rather than simply disagreeing with me, it must be that I am being paid to have a different opinion.
Yeah, this is the big... I'm hoping I'm going to agree a lot with this. It's so true. It's like, if people don't like what they're hearing, they're just like, there's no way this person can have a different opinion to me. He must be getting paid. There must be some other evil thing going on. It's like, no, man, I like the Monster Manual. I don't know what you want from me.
That Firaxis and 2K has these financial little tubes that they're filling me up with all these coins. The fact that I have a vested interest in Civilization 7 doing well means that I'm biased, despite the fact that they never actually established that I have a vested...
It's also like, yeah, Wizards of the Coast are paying me for like getting 1,000 views for them. They're paying me money, making it worthwhile for me to give them 1,000 positive views. That would be a wild waste of money. A wild waste of money.
Interest in the success of Civilization 7 as a fact. It's just taken at face value to be true. Of course, if people...
Now, Dandy, I'm sorry. If you've come in now, you've got to wait till I've finished watching this. I talked about the new D&D show, and now I've got to watch this. Then we're going to talk about it some more. I'm sorry. There's a new D&D show coming out. That's fundamentally the news. Play Baldur's Gate 3.
People were actually honest, and they knew anything about the work that I do, or even how the industry works, they would know that, first of all, it is literally illegal and against existing guidelines to be paid for coverage and to not disclose it. By the way,
it is illegal.
This is not just if you are given money to produce content. Literally, if I accept a game key, the legal and ethical guidelines recommend that every single...
Yeah, there is a really weird thing on YouTube that I think a lot of people don't do, which is when D&D sends D&D tubers books, right? We sing it all the time. When someone gets a book for free and they say, like, D&D did send me this, but they have no control over it. This video is not sponsored in any way, shape, or form. Technically, because they got the free book and they're making content out of the book, they have to tick the box on YouTube saying it's sponsored legally. And also, I would love to see some the emails from Wizards of the Coast, because are they just sending stuff, or are they saying like, we'll send you a book if you make a video about it? Because if that's the case, then it's sponsored as well. It's like, it's very easy to be sponsored, like, without meaning to. When WizKids sent me those minis a few videos ago, I opened the minis they sent me. They said, like, we're going to send them to you. Just have them appear in a video. And I'm like, deal. I'll have them appear in a video, and I'll leave a link saying WizKids at the bottom. And that was sponsored, technically. That was sponsored because they sent me a free product, and I showed it. And yeah, I don't know, it's a weird
piece of content I produce for that game should contain an ad disclosure. And that means if I were to accept a key for Civilizations...
Also, the gamer, the power play of saying bye, then asking a question, I just have to respect. Bye, I need to have dinner, and what is your view on the new subclasses? So I'll answer you, even though you're gone. I like the new... Wait. New official subclasses or the Unearthed Arcana stuff? Because if it's the Unearthed Arcana, I've not looked at them yet. But if it's like the new player handbook stuff, I'm a fan.
7. Every single video I would ever produce on Civilization 7 would have to have #ad.
Okay, Dandy, I've got mad respect for that reply.
In the title. This is why, of course, I actually bought a copy of the game for myself and only used the free key that I received for the purpose of pre-release footage and access to the press build of the game for research. By the way, this level of ad disclosure is not only uniquely true for people covering things on social media, but especially true of YouTube. When products and services are endorsed and advertised in traditional media, the legal requirements for compliance are way more relaxed. If you'd like to learn more about just how messed up the legal and ethical disparity between people like me and the actual news and TV organizations are, Tom Scott's video, YouTubers have to declare ads, why doesn't anyone else, is a great starting point for you to become slightly more informed. I would also highly recommend reading through the
I'm going to watch that off stream because I'm really interested about why I have to declare ads and people in the news don't.
Description of that video and reading the sources, as they will contribute to you becoming more informed. I don't think anyone who has called me an undisclosed paid shill are ever going to update their personal understanding of the level of insane.
Would be so cool if Wizards of the Coast create a 3D D&D adventure game like Zelda. I don't think it's in our wheelhouse. They've been trying to make this 3D VTT for a long time now, and like they could license it out like they did with Baldur's Gate 3, I guess. But I don't know. Also, D&D, yeah. I would just hope it was multiplayer if they did something like that.
Detachment from reality and ignorance of the facts that is required to make an accusation. For people who do care at all, I'm going to address these accusations with evidence. Firstly, there is no evidence that I have been paid to cover any of Firaxis or 2K's games without disclosure. I have been paid a handful of times to play Civilization 6, all of which I disclosed. I have been paid to make content for that game. I started getting paid like once a year, approximately 6+ years after the game had come out, and I've been playing the game and building my YouTube channel for those 6+ years. I don't think anyone is going to begrudge me for getting paid a little bit of extra money to do something I was already doing, considering the game was 6 years old and I'd already produced thousands of videos for it. The problem is, however, every time I address these accusations...
And I have had people contact me asking to review something and they would pay me, right? And most recently, my next video is coming out, the ones that I did on my other stream about all the dice I received from uniquedice.com. They contacted me and like, we'll send you this stuff. Can you make a video about it? And I'm like, yes, but like they didn't pay me anything. Like the payment was like, oh, I get to make content and I get to talk about your stuff, and they get no say on what I say about the stuff, which is like a nice thing. But technically, that video is still sponsored because they sent me free dice.
These points, the arguments morph and change in real time. Now, instead of being a paid shill, it's a quid pro quo agreement with Firaxis and 2K, where I know if I maintain a good relationship with them, the more money will come down the line. Okay, let me tell you right now. First of all, I don't give a fuck. I will burn that bridge just for fun, okay? Second of all, I make so much money from YouTube ad revenue that I have turned down hundreds of thousands of dollars to cover shitty products, shitty games, and participate in shitty events. I wish I could tell you that it's because I am a supremely ethical being levitating above earthly possessions, but no, it's actually because I am intensely lazy and all I want to do is play video games, make fun videos about them, so I rarely even accept sponsorships for games that I'm not already going to make a video on. And a lot of the time, the only reason I accept those sponsorships is in months where the ad revenue is low, so I don't have to take a pay cut or give a pay cut to my editors. But because you fuckers don't know anything about me, instead of playing...
How many views does this guy get? A lot. How many views do you get from gaming videos to make enough from ad revenue? Oh, okay. A lot. Yeah. He's like 200k, 100k, 67k, 123k, which sounds like a good time, but also he's putting out like a video. He's putting multiple videos out a week. So he's good. This guy's good for money.
Video games and making fun videos. Here I am, writing up a fucking video about ethics in video game journalism, and it's 10 years on from 2014. I do have what I consider to be an ethical floor. It's a very, very simple set of rules, okay? It's what I call the bare minimum, okay? First of all, the product that I am being paid to advertise cannot be harmful to my audience or anyone who witnesses my endorsement. I must research and understand the product well enough to be able to talk about it. I must be willing to endorse and use the product whether or not I would be willing, whether or not I would be paid to do it. And that's why I don't cover mobile games with shitty microtransactions or predatory microtransactions that monetize FOMO or all these things. It's why I don't do any game like that. I just blanket, nope, that's hundreds of thousands of dollars a year. I just don't get because I have ethics.
I must admit, I've been turning down, past couple of weeks, I was like, I want to take every sponsorship that comes my way so I can make more money and do this longer term. But I've had a bunch that were fundamentally just AI. There were D&D stuff. It was like AI stuff, how like it'll create lore for you or create characters for you. And I just had to say no because like AI is such a touchy subject still. Catch you later, Dandy.
And you fucking bet I don't get credit for that, okay? I get no credit credit for that. Do you know how easy it would be to milk the teat of Raid Shadow Legends, okay? I could have multiple houses. I could be porking your mom wearing a gold suit, okay? Those are my personal ethical guidelines. And let me tell you, there is a reason I call that the ethical floor, because there are fuckers out here doing crypto scams, mental health services that they've done zero research on, dietary supplements that they've done zero research on. They be hawking that shit to their audience, and I don't think they passed that ethical floor. They saw Fat Bank, and they took the sponsorship, and well, that's just what you do on YouTube. Believe me, if I dropped this ethical floor, I would make like...
I found my channel like a week before I dropped that video. Any updates? Yes, actually. Well, hold on. Sorry, technical issues. Yeah, the update is that I'm going balls to the wall crazy with content right now. I think I've produced more content in like the past 2 weeks than I have done in like months before. Like I've been dropping multiple shorts, dropping weekly videos, and doing like live streams like every other day. And I'm just like I'm literally just testing the water to see what that does to me financially and to views. And the answer is, if I have any insight, I want to stay. I want to keep doing this. So I'm tempted to lower my level and like just be very like strapped for cash for a while to keep doing it. But in about 2 weeks' time, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to look at all my analytics properly. I'm going to see how much money I've made, how many views I've got, how much I've grown, kind of predicts where I could get to in a year, because that's the big thing. It's not where I am now, it's where I could get to in a year. And then if I'm making enough, if my prediction is that I could make enough money consistently, then I'd be very happy, fundamentally. The biggest thing since that video came out that has made me optimistic is that I've had a big boost in memberships, like channel memberships and Twitch subs and Patreon members as well. So that's made me think that I could do this long term, because those are like subscribers who are like supporting me and stuff. But I also have to keep reminding myself that that's probably a short boost. So I got so many channel memberships, but like I think I got for like the past year I had like 4 channel members. Then I dropped that video and it jumped up to 8. Then I started live streaming and I got 20 more memberships, like 22 more, which is fantastic. I mean, it's like $40, but it's like hopefully it could be $40 recurring. But 20 of those 22 memberships are gift memberships. So it's one person, it's like one whale who bought all those memberships. So next month, most of them will disappear. And I see like, and this is just saying how things work. I want you to separate me from this right now. Just how things work is that I've noticed that my Patreon members go up and down, and I like hanging around. For the longest time, I'm hanging around like 10 Patreon members. I fully predict that we've had a boost now, but if I drop a video, and when I drop a video, updating whether I'm staying or not, and it's kind of like closes the circle of this arc, people will not unsubscribe, but they'll just move on to help other people who need help. And they should do that. They should help other people who need help. Because either way, I don't plan on being in a position in 2 months' time where I need to be like, I need money. Like I either want to be doing YouTube and making enough money to be happy, or I want to have gone and got a full-time job and be making enough money to be happy. So, yeah. That's where I'm at now, really. It's like, things are looking good right now, but like, will they stay there? I don't know. It did feel like you were dropping more. I'm enjoying it. I like what you do. Wish I could throw you more money and just watching the ads. Yeah, no. It's, I wish I could unlock a new audience. I wish I could, like, sometimes, like every few months, I have a video that blows up and I get new viewers. And that's kind of what I want. I don't want people to support me. I mean, I appreciate it and I like it, but I don't want to be supported by the community. I want to be supported. The dream is like the opposite of what a lot of people want, because a lot of people are like, I don't want you to have to watch sponsorships, and I don't want you to have to like watch long videos, do all that. I'm like, no, I want to give you free content. I don't want you to pay me anything. And the way to do that would be money from sponsorships and money from ad revenue. So if I could just boost that up, it'd be amazing. Or I find some kind of, I've been thinking a lot recently about finding some kind of products that I could sell that is useful to people, that people want. But I want it to be good. And it's hard to think of. It takes time to get something like that going. Just don't overwork yourself. Yeah, no, I won't. Honestly, like streaming and stuff is so much fun. So it's kind of a nice refresher so that when I go back and work on a video, when I burn out, when I overwork, it's when I'm working on the same thing for too long. So if I'm just editing a video for like 10 hours straight, I'm like, oh my God, kill me now. But if I stream occasionally or make shorts occasionally, it kind of refreshes me a little bit, which is nice. All right, Shade, good night. You said you work in VFX. You said you work in VFX in film industry. Curious to hear more. I work in film as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, I was a VFX editor, assistant VFX editor, but I've got some credits on some movies as a VFX editor, which I'm very proud of. But yeah, I worked in visual effects production houses. I just helped making sure that all the footage was correct. All right, Dave, no worries. Have a good night. Sugar daddy? Oh. You're saying sugar daddy as a potential solution to the scenario. No. Unfortunately, I kind of have that. Like, my wife is currently my sugar daddy, my sugar mommy. So... But I don't like relying. I don't want to rely on her. I want to make my own way in life. Which movies? You will see my name on such fantastic hits as Guardians of the Galaxy 3 and John Wick 4 were the last ones that came out before I lost my job. So you have to wait a long time in the credits, though. You really got to wait until after the actors, after the crew, after the catering, after the drivers who drive the actors to their jobs. I'm in there, though. You just got to wait a little bit. I'm near the bottom. Just keep going. Just before they thank, like, the countries that they filmed in, I'm there. Budget cuts, also to he lost it. The whole industry got hit hard last year. It was because of the strikes. The writer strikes and the actor strikes that happened like a year before that had a knock-on effect that eventually got to my industry. And there was just no work going around. So that's that. So that's why I'm hoping work's picking up again now. So that if I choose to go back, hopefully it won't be too hard. I'm going to go rewatch those and fast forward to the credits. As far as YouTube, you are the only one I actually have notifications. No, get out of town. Well, thank you. Yeah, everyone turn on the notification bells. I'm just after the janitor. Yeah. But like, I don't deserve to be on there. Like in VFX, it's like the artists are the people who deserve to be on there. They just throw me on sometimes if there's space. But yeah, thank you for the follow. Solid 10 D&D. How's it going? My name is just squeezed into a corner. 2 font sizes smaller than everyone. It's just me. It's me. Whenever someone's watching it in the credits, I run up to the TV screen and I just write my name on in a little piece of marker. I'm good, Solid. We were talking about the new D&D movie, and then we got sidetracks. And then I wanted to watch this YouTube video, but I think I can rewatch the rest of it later.
Like, retire.
But it's all about people accusing YouTubers of being shills for companies because they say nice things about their products. And I get called, more so now than... more before. It used to happen more than it does now, because I think people have just given up. But whenever I would say something nice about like a product, someone would be like, how much are they paying you? And I'd be like, you're serious? You're genuinely serious? I made a video that got 600 views, and you think Wizards of the Coast paid me for this pro video? Are you insane? But yeah. Now, man, get your credit. That's a huge accomplishment. You're right. I'm just scared it's going to go to my head like the god I am, you know? Got to be careful about that. Got to stay modest. Because the more modest I am, the closer I am to perfection. How dare you like something and not being sponsored? Yeah, no, it's wild. And as that video said that we were watching, it's like people don't, or they may think it, but the reason they think it is just that you have an opinion that's different to their own. You have an opinion that's different to their own, and there's no way that can possibly be. So there has to be some grand conspiracy where Wizards of the Coast is doing something illegal and paying me under the table, and I'm doing something illegal and taking the money under the table, and they're just hoping no one's going to get caught. Like, it would be, what a risk. What a wild risk. It's like the Critical Role scripted allegations. It's like, you think Critical Role is scripted word for word on a piece of paper, and then the dice rolls are scripted. That's why there's not cameras on the dice rolls, by the way, guys. It's so that they can roll anything and just say what the number is in the script. You think that is smarter because they make more money that way? I'm like, no. If they get caught, they're done. Like, that's the worst business move ever. Like, being honest is the best business move for Critical Role, obviously. It's wild. Anyway, I get so many comments of stuff like that, and it just gets to me. I'm gonna release it here. But those are the most annoying comments. Calling me a shill and telling me that you can't learn anything from actual players when I make a video about an actual play and how to learn how to play D&D. I'm like, you can learn how to play D&D from an actual play. They're not changing the rules. Well, sometimes they are, but you can do that. That's allowed. But it's not like they're like faking everything because it's an entertainment show. It's wild. It would explain why I love Sam so much. The certainty is what makes TTRPGs so much fun and entertaining. The uncertainty, yes, sorry, I misread that. Yes, the uncertainty. How mad would you be if I commented that on this VOD? If you comment saying that I'm a shill, if you say I'm a shill for YouTube memberships, because if people give me YouTube memberships, I'm happy, then so be it. Or a shill for Twitch Primes, because you can pop over to Twitch right now and give me free money that doesn't cost you anything if you are a Twitch Prime member. But yeah, I know, I would find it funny, CB Flam. However, if you waited too long and I forgot I had this conversation, I would just be incredibly confused and annoyed. I had to roll with some nonsense a player came up with recently, and it ended up being the most fun part of the session. Nice. I haven't done that in ages. Stand by doing it now. I mean, if you guys just go to, if you guys just go over to Twitch and hit the boop the, I don't know why I broke then, but boop the follow button. I didn't break. It was your streams lagging. Oh, you know what I'm doing tomorrow? You guys will like this. Actually, let me get it up first. I'm doing something D&D tomorrow that I've never done before. Thank you for the follow, guys. Where is it? All right. Zemo, the TV show is called The Forgotten Realms, apparently, and it is under production, and it is a D&D TV show set in the Forgotten Realms, and that's kind of most of the information we know. Cat the Mouse, how's it going? I'm just talking, and me and Cat the Mouse, because Cat the Mouse is my wife over on Twitch, are going to see this event tomorrow. About some music, and it's called the D&D Experience. It's called the Immersive Quest. Thank you for the subscription, Rogue. That's freaking awesome, and also thank you for the follow. Thank you for the follow, Rocket. You've not been on Twitch in so long. Is it different? What is happening here? I wish they had just like a good video for it. So there's some people who...
Immersive experience.
Yeah, but like, what's there?
How about I show you instead? That's right, there's an all-ages, family-friendly Dungeons & Dragons quest in Mississauga. From the moment you step in, you are surrounded by this kingdom-like world. You pick your character type.
Yeah, so it's like literally an experience where you go in. I guess they give you wristbands to like ping in. You choose what kind of class you are, and then they take you on a little journey. It's like an installation.
And your difficulty. Veteran if you're really up to a challenge.
Shall we go veteran, Kat?
Then it is go time. You are then met with some characters who give you details on your mission. From there, you participate in some fun challenges and activities, including crossing fiery bridges, avoiding lasers however you can, interacting with some native beings of the land, and more. And for the ultimate challenge, you'll get to fight the dragon. To celebrate, you'll be led into the marketplace. That's where you can check out some Dungeons & Dragons merch and order some themed food and drinks. Yeah, there is limited time holiday pricing in effect, so check out the link in my bio for tickets.
I'm going to have way too many drinks. They're going to be like, sir, you have to leave. Sir, this is a D&D experience. You can't stay here. You want all the food? Yeah, I wonder if the food's going to be good. Is food normally good at stuff like this? But you see there's like a fire pit that we have to dodge and lasers we have to dodge. Oh, I can just imagine my joints and bones now. So I got a lot of time for that. You did something like that with Star Wars at Disney a few years ago. How was it? Did you like it, Zemo? It does look awesome, yeah. I hope it's good. I'll let you guys know. If anyone's in or around Toronto, you can check it out. But I'd wait and see what we think first. But I've got a lot of time for stuff like this. It's just like I guess it's just like a museum installation, but it's interactive as well, so it's got like actors walking around. I actually have no idea. I have no idea what it's fully going to be like. I wonder if, since I'm going with Kat, if Kat can choose easy mode and I can choose veteran, and we can see what the difference is like. Mr. Goofball, do not worry about it. Do not worry about it. It's all good. I only want rich people to give me memberships. I know there's whales out there. That's who I want to target, and not poor people. Yeah, we're suckers for theme things for sure. Sir, there is a 2-drink max. You've had 30. And I'll shout, I'm a wizard. Okay, so when Dwarf Bard over imbibes at the tavern, it's roleplay, but when I do it, I have to please leave the chilies. Will I buy the merch you want for Valentine's Day? I will. You can have any merch you want. Alex, thank you for the follow. Didn't expect to catch you live. Sending love this Valentine's Day from Wales. Thank you, Liam. Love right back at you. How's it going? Hype train started from another subscribe from Alex. Thank you. Holy crap. For Valentine's Day, I sent my crew all custom-made PC sheets, and we scheduled my first DM for a 1-2 shot this time next month. That's awesome. It's free money. No one loses. No one loses. It's free money. There's no downside. It's fantastic. So, the real question is, the D&D TV show. What vibe? What's the vibe? What is the vibe? Would you want it to be all set in like one city like Baldur's Gate. It's just all based around there, and with many multiple characters, and it's more like a drama, or like a Peaky Blinders style show, or would you rather it is a massive adventure show where they're constantly moving, they're constantly going to new places and experiencing new things? Would you want us to be one character, like The Witcher, or Drizzt Do'Urden, who is the main character, and it always follows him? Or would you want us to be multiple characters spread across the land, and it's following all of them? You'd want a similar style to the film. You thought it was excellent. Yeah, I wonder how they would do it, the film as a TV show, though. Like the style of it, even. But the vibe, I do like it. It's kind of fun. It's kind of not too serious, but it's got some serious emotional beats when needed. I'll come back and join in the future. I'm decently well off. I don't need... No, don't give me money. It's all good. Just any disposable income I have usually gets used up quickly for minis and stuff. No. It's okay. It's all good. Thank you, though. Vibe will be like D&D movie. Mm-hmm. Has to be a party. First season in one city. Next season can branch out. I want to focus on a party of 4 to 7 characters. Thank you for the follow, Tom. How's it going? But what's the party looking like? You know? Is it a fighter? There's got to be a cleric. But we have that in Vox Machina to some degree, right? So it's interesting. I think... Oh, it's so hard. Like, I want many D&D TV shows. That's my problem. Because I want one where it's all set in one city, and it is like more down to earth and gritty, and it's like following like a crime ring in like Baldur's Gate or like Neverwinter or something, or like a heist stuff. But I also want the big, huge epics where it's like end of the world stuff, and you get a new town every single episode. So it's difficult. The show will be live action, apparently, Liam. Yeah, we don't know much. We know that it is live action. It has the showrunner. It has a producer. Netflix is doing it. So it feels like it's happening, but it also felt like it was happening 2 years ago when Paramount Plus tried to make it, and it fell through. So I'm hoping it's still going to happen. This feels a bit more solidified because the Paramount Plus one failed because like E1 Entertainment was making it and they got sold or something like that. There was like stuff behind the scenes. So hopefully this one gets made. And it's Netflix. It's Netflix and it's like the producer of Stranger Things. So let's hope. But we don't know much more about that. We just know live action D&D set in the Forgotten Realms, and they are currently calling it the Forgotten Realms, though I've been alive long enough to know that they don't always stick with the names that they give out in these early reports. It could be called anything. But I actually think the Forgotten Realms is a cool name for a show. You know? Hey, did you guys watch Forgotten Realms last week? Great episode. Can you believe what happened to blah, blah, blah? Insane. I love TFR, the Forgotten Realms. TFR? Do you watch TFR? Coast, thank you for the follow, by the way. Who cares as long as there's a dwarf? Yeah. Multiple parties that end up converging towards the end of the season. Alex, I can get on board with that. I like that a lot. Game of Thrones style. Like, Game of Thrones, for so long, had all these characters and groups of people who never met. And sometimes they would meet and it would be this moment of like, this is great. All monks. All bards. Battle of the Bards. Baldur's Gate. Netflix is sugar daddy. Forgotten Realms was a D&D DC comic book that had a neat cast of characters. I didn't know that. Is that comic book good? Was it just like one book, or was it like an ongoing series? I should check that out for sure. Battle of the Bard Starts. Fantastic name. 4 graphic novels. Oh. Are they, when did they come out? Shadowfriend, if you tell me they're good, right now, I'm going to buy them. If you tell me they're okay, I'm not going to buy them. Started good, eventually jumped. That's okay. Yeah, I'm not going to buy them. I think it still needs to have a party-style dynamic and a warlock. It is true. It's like how much of... The D&D has a definitive vibe to it. So it's like, is it a TV show set in the world of D&D, or is it a D&D TV show? Because that really shifts the things. Because D&D has a very solid vibe that is... It's a party. It's a group of party. It's a group of people who are all different classes and all different species. And it's also got like a humor to it. There's like a definitive like silliness that I think exists throughout D&D worlds. So if it goes that route, then yeah, you'd need a party. And you'd probably need them traveling around. They should have a Dragonborn, who in the final episode is revealed to be 3 kobolds in a trench coat. That would be fantastic. Did we see Dragonborn? Yeah, we saw Dragonborns in a... Yeah, we saw Dragonborns in the movie. That would be hard to do for a TV show. I don't think they could do Dragonborns. They also made tieflings look human, with horns and the tail. It'll be the first show to be cancelled midway through, and that would make it more accurate to the source material. Yeah. 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 When does it come out? It comes out every Monday. But sometimes we miss a Monday. And sometimes it's like 6 hours long, and other times it's 2 hours long. No, I'm super down for it, though. I wasn't expecting this either. This was like really nice news, to be honest. I'm more excited than I thought I would be. Not even just at a D&D show, just a new fantasy show. I feel like there's not enough fantasy shows right now. Give me fantasy shows. It's all dystopian futures right now. 89 to 91. Okay. My birth year was 1989 to 1991. So I'll check it out. I'm going to check that out. The Amazon D&D short film was very cool, but hoping for something like... Yeah, the Level Up one. The video game one. I would be down for a live-action vibe of that, to be honest. The action in that was really cool. Can you imagine if they got that kind of action in a live action? Fantastic stuff. But I honestly think what we're going to end up with is kind of the Avatar live action vibe, where everything looks very good and it's good. But whether or not it's fantastic depends on your like connection to it, I guess. You were birthed for an entire year. Mm-hmm. It was long, it was arduous. But I'm here now. Secret level, yeah. You born across 2 years. Have you watched D&D movie? How was it for me? Yeah, me and Kat watched it in the cinema. I watched it with my D&D group at the time, which was a really fun experience. Because I think that group were all new players. So when we watched it, it was the first time that they were like, oh, this is like, a lot of this stuff is like a shared experience. I'm like, yeah, it's not just our table. Like, there's a weird shared narrative that happens across all D&D tables. No one can open doors. I don't know what it is. They put something in the dice that when you get it on your fingers, it has the same thing. And I really liked it in the cinema. But I didn't know if it was just like, you know how sometimes you watch a film in the cinema and it's like fun and it's hard to distinguish if it's good or not. It's just like, it's a fun movie. And then we rewatched it again at Christmas. Like, oh my God, it was years ago. It's been out for years, right? But the first Christmas after it came out, we rewatched it, and I remember like sitting down and thinking halfway through, this is well written. Like, this is a good movie. Legitimately a good movie. And I think near the end, it doesn't stick the landing as well as I would hope, but I think it's a good movie. I think it's a good movie. What villain would you like to see? Strahd. Vecna. Yeah, I'd like to see Strahd. I'd like to see Vecna. I'd like to see, obviously, some semblance of Tiamat. Yeah, that'd be cool. But don't do them all. Choose one. I think Vecna seems to be the in nowadays. Vecna seems to be like the in for these shows and games and TV shows and stuff. Maybe some Mind Flayers. But I might be Mind Flayered out after BG3. I might have had too much Mind Flayer. I think like many Netflix shows such as Drive to Survive, it will appeal to the newer fans to provide an entry point rather than fully cater for the experienced folk. I don't think you can cater to the experienced folk with D&D. I don't think D&D has enough, it's not solidified enough. Like, one person's D&D might be completely different to another person's D&D, and they both could have played it for 20 years. So I think just making something like on as genuine and as authentically as possible is the way forwards. And yeah, go for new people. Why not? You watched it with your mom. She enjoyed it despite not knowing anything about D&D. Yeah, I got the vibe as well. Just because D&D is like got its way into so much like fantasy in general that like it's hard to not have picked up on D&D stuff in general. Secret Level was great. Hope you all enjoyed the 40k one. You know what? I've only watched the D&D one. Should I go back and rewatch the others? I was one and done in there, but I did enjoy the D&D one. I just don't like... why do I always forget this word? Anthology series. I don't love anthology series. Like, the only one that I've really ever got on board with properly was Black Mirror. But even then, like, I'd rather have, like, a connecting story. The really cool conceit plot was that they are running around the realms with a teleporting ship, hunting artifacts. Super great concept to showcase many locations. Every 4 issues were a short story. Oh, was that the comic book? Reintroducing Venga would be fun as a BBEG? Man, maybe. He's in the DMG now, right? Oh, he's on the cover of the DMG. The 40k one is crazy. Okay, I'll watch it. They were all okay, but I will revoke my subs if you don't go watch the 40k one. I'll go watch the 40k one. I'll go watch the 40k one. Literally paying me to like the stuff you like. I'm down. But I mean, I enjoyed the D&D one, so if it's like that or better, I can't go wrong. But I also don't know a ton about 40k. So if I need to know a lot about 40k... I also heard there was a Pac-Man one, which was weird. Should I watch the Pac-Man one? Alright, Liam, have a good one. Enjoy, let me guess, Captain America. We need to go watch Captain America. I'm hoping to watch it maybe Sunday. I actually haven't looked at any reviews or anything for it, so... be interesting. Going in blind. Pac-Man was great, and yes, weird. Interesting. Yes, let's go. I want popcorn. I think I can't convince us to do it tonight for Valentine's Day. Have a romantic dinner in, then go out for a late night viewing of Captain America. No, that's not romantic. That's not Valentine's Day. We'll do it Sunday. It's good. It's going to be a good weekend because I'm doing, Valentine's Day tonight, which I'm most excited for, and then the D&D experience tomorrow, which is cool. I just hope I want to get a ton of footage to see if I can make at least a short, if not a longer form video about it. And then, if we go to the cinema on Sunday, it's a solid weekend. Heart Eyes went to see Cap earlier. Okay. It's good to know. Oh, wait, Heart Eyes is something you'll watch. What was Cap like, though? Without spoilers, did you enjoy it? Oh, you've gone. Go to cinema. The Pac-Man one was interesting. Okay. I'm very curious that Stranger Things helps popularize D&D, and now Netflix will make the show. It's a good sign for sure. Yeah. What happened with Stranger Things? Why did that popularize D&D so much? It's so weird to me. Because people keep saying that, like, there was a massive boost when Stranger Things came out. But then when you actually look at the trends, there's a huge boost. And, like, I'm just surprised that so many people watch Stranger Things and then it went straight to D&D. It's a weird thing that happened. A weird phenomenon. The Stranger Things effect. What do you mean, 40k screen Valentine's? We may watch the 40k thing tonight. The series should have an episode where they actually fight a dragon in a dungeon. Yeah, if they do a D&D TV series and there's no dungeons or no dragons, but they did that in the movie, right? A dragon in a dungeon. That Stranger Things boost surprised you too. Unexplainable. Yeah, I get it. I get, like, it raised awareness. It was kind of like product placement, but to do what it did is just phenomenal. Unless Stranger Things was just so popular that, in comparison, like, the D&D fall off was a drop in the ocean. It just happened to be a lot for D&D. I don't know. But it's like there's other stuff in that show. Like, the kids are riding bicycles around a lot, right? When Stranger Things came out, did bicycles explode? Like, did the stocks of bicycles go through the roof? Like D&D did? Not just like a rise in Google searches, but a massive boost in sales. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense. 0 sense. Did landline phones have a big boost? Like, I'm trying to think of all the stuff that's in Stranger Things. Stuff from the 80s. Tom, thank you for the subscription, man. That means a lot. After that, they get beheld by a beholder and someone gets their mind flayed by a mind flayer. Or they get mind flayed by a beholder and beheld by a mind flayer. Did I say that right? that was a tongue twister in my mind. When Stranger Things came out, I made bank by investing in bike stock. Yeah, you just get wheels. You just get wheels, and you're good to go. What else was in Stranger Things that? Oh man, I don't know why in my mind it's just school buses and, like, other dimensional demons. But yeah, the D&D boost from Stranger Things will forever baffle me. And apparently it happens, like, every time a new season comes out, and it's like, it's crazy. Well, everyone knows about bikes, but a lot of people had probably never heard of D&D before. Yeah, it's just weird that, I guess, bunk beds, yeah. 2020, really big year for bunk beds, or whenever Stranger Things came out. Probably not 2020. Nothing good happened in 2020. I mean, people knew about bicycles and landlines, yeah. Well, still, it's impressive. It's just very impressive, the power of, like, a cultural phenomenon like that. Confluence with the popularity of Gen X and nostalgia, Netflix overperforming, pandemic isolation, and extra time available. TV show feels like a long Spielberg film, like E.T. but longer. Yeah, it does have those vibes. It's good though. I'm a big fan of Stranger Things. I think it's a really good piece of media that I hope will continue to be good and going into its last season. But only time will tell. Wait, what? Oh. I think it's making me look an ad. Can I skip this? I just saw this news. That's a Dungeons & Dragons live action series not going forward. And then I realized this is from May 2024. I absolutely panicked. I was like going to be like, no. Why would you do this to us? The reality is it's just, there's no information. So we'll see. Deadline called this potential D&D adaptation one of Netflix's biggest TV bets in the fantasy space to date. After lengthy negotiations, which is not unusual for an IP of that caliber, I hear the fantasy series is now set at the streamer for further development. In success, it could launch a D&D universe, I hear. Yeah, we've heard that before, though. We've heard about the D&D universe. It's not as easy as they think. You think Stranger Things helped by tying it to the story and keeping it present throughout, even though it wasn't about D&D? Plus, Critical Role started the year prior. Yeah, Critical Role makes sense to me. I understand why Critical Role had such a boost to it. I guess, yeah. I think it's like the Stranger Things thing is that despite it wears like all its D&D stuff on its sleeve, but it doesn't like force it down you. It's quite subtle in a way. If it ends up being bad, we'll just make our own D&D series with blackjack and hookers. I'm taking my D&D series and I'm going home. I can't imagine the pressure of continuing a show like Stranger Things as the popularity has grown. Trying to end that show is going to be difficult, yeah. The only other show I can think of the only other two shows that had that kind of pressure were Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. And one of those shows did a good job, and the other one did not. And another D&D show is, oh my god, you're right, Mighty Nine. Are they going to release a season of Mighty Nine while Vox Machina is still going? When the D&D TV series come out, are we going to have like 3 different D&D TV series coming out at the same time? That'd be wild. Oh yeah, there's no talk of a sequel to the movie, which is a shame. Because apparently Chris Pine wanted a sequel, and he said he was pretty confident it would happen. Well, oh well. It's been 2 years. Yeah, exciting times. All right. Well, that is it. I think the stream we're going for 2 hours, and I'm going to go and do some editing now. But thanks, guys, for watching. As always, it's been a pleasure. Genuinely enjoyed chatting to you. Thank you for all the subscriptions. Thank you for the follows. Genuinely awesome. So you make streaming so much more fun and easy. So thank you. And yeah, I will catch you guys later. Bye.